There was one guy that literally sat at the table with me and talked the entire time about how he has a bidet.
Is that a first date conversation?
And how good it feels to use the bidet.
Oh, boy.
And how he told me, like, I like how sometimes, like, I'll be going to the bathroom and I think I'm done. And then I use the bidet, but then I realize I'm not done. So I keep going. So I always know I'm fully cleaned out. That's what he said to me. I'm Allie Casaza, and this is The Purpose Show. Hi, friends. Welcome to The Purpose Show podcast. We are in studio today doing both video and audio, which is so fun. And today's conversation is going to be even more fun. I am coming in hot with some tips for newly single moms. We're going to talk a little bit about dating and just kind of like what some of my experience has been. This is definitely going to be maybe a series. It's at least a 3-parter. But I've just never opened up about this part of my life or this part of my journey at all. And I've been getting a lot of questions when I do my Q&A boxes on Instagram, ask me anything, things like that. Like people are struggling to be newly single, to date in their 30s, to date with kids. And I definitely have dated and I have definitely learned a lot. So we're just going to kind of start having this conversation, just start somewhere. So one of the biggest things that I have seen in the world of like dating after divorce, dating with kids, dating really almost anytime, but especially in these circumstances is this whole idea that like you can't date until you like fully know yourself, and you can't date until you're like whole by yourself. And I get where that's coming from, but I actually disagree. And here's why. We grow the fastest and the easiest, maybe not the easiest, no, I won't say that. We grow the fastest when we are being mirrored, and other people are mirrors for ourselves. So it is so much more likely that you're going to be having shit that you need to work on mirrored back to you when you are conversating with a person, when you're seeing someone, when you're across the table from a person, when you're getting to know someone, even if you don't like see anybody like in a row, like more than once, even if you just have like a bunch of first dates, you're still getting things mirrored back to you. The person across from you is going to be bringing up stuff in you. And it's usually things that you didn't know about yourself, or things that need to be healed, or something will trigger you, or something will happen in the conversation that makes you think about yourself or think of something in a different way that you didn't think about it before. I had so many dinners where I would be sitting across from someone that had a very different life experience from me. Like they grew up a certain way, or had a certain background, or an event happen in their lives that I didn't even know was a thing, or had never experienced in my life. Or maybe they were like really just starting a business, and they were starting a business very different than mine. And we were having this really interesting conversation. I went out with men who were wildly successful, who were really not successful and really struggling. Like I didn't really have like a type or rules. I just kind of followed my gut and went out a lot of times with a lot of different people and learned so much, not just about the world, not about different experiences. Like I did, but not just that. I mostly learned about myself. And the men that I dated, especially men that I dated like more than just a first date, like I would see them again, they each gave me something. They gave me a lesson about myself. They taught me something about myself. And I basically turned. Like you guys know how there was like an episode a long time ago where I talked about turning your social media platforms into like a self-growth tool. Like if you are scrolling and you see someone taking a vacation and you feel jealousy, like don't just keep scrolling or be like, oh my gosh, like she's a bitch, whatever. Like, why are you jealous? What are you jealous about? Jealousy is a signal that there's something that you really want, but you don't think you can have. That's an opportunity for self-growth. I fully did that with dating. I turned it into a self-growth tool. I was not dating to find anybody. I actually thought for a little while, like maybe I'd be good to just be on my own for good. Like Brian and I are still a team. He's still like a partner in life for me. We're co-parenting. Like we hang out even when we don't need to for the kids or whatever. Like I'm not lonely. Maybe I'll just be good. And I was okay with that. Like ultimately I was like, you know what? Like, no, I think I would like to have like a person next to me doing life with me and all that. But I was never, ever, ever dating to find somebody. I was dating to practice the art of being in my feminine energy, to practice the art of receiving. Like as someone who, like I was the breadwinner in my family for most of the time. Like Brian, you did your job. I can't say the company. Your job that you worked for like, I don't know what, like 7 years. And then
it was like from, when we had Bella.
Yeah.
Until we had Emmett. So
yeah,
we had all the kids while I was at that job, insurance wise, which was cool. But
very.
So it may not have been like, I guess, a lot of money, or what we needed money wise, but there were other like benefits and things that made it like just barely work.
It was good.
But you weren't working at all, and I was the only one. So technically,
and then we switched.
Yeah, we switched.
So for the last
obviously
part,
a better situation.
For the last part of our relationship, I was the breadwinner, which was great. Like we worked together, and
yeah, it was fine.
It was a good vibe.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff with, I guess. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to throw this in there, but
no, it's fine.
It taught me to learn stuff and figure stuff out with myself because there was a lot of stuff that, I was holding on to with my worth being what work I do, or my job being like who I am.
I feel like we need to do an episode about that.
I don't know. Did we do one?
I don't think so.
I don't know. But yeah, that's a whole nother story.
For sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like living life and talking, like even just talking to you right now, like that opens up my mind about like, oh, like tell me more. I want to. So going on dates as somebody who was the breadwinner, as somebody who's a very like, I'm a powerful person, I'm a powerful personality type, I'm a strong woman, I'm pretty independent, I make my own money, I don't need anything from anybody. So to go on a date where I would like expect the man to like, where are we going? Pick me, like, are you, like, I want them to be like, I made reservations, it's this kind of vibe. So I know like what to wear. And then like, I'll meet you there at 7 or I'll pick you up at 8 or whatever. Like I was fully in my feminine, like relaxing and enjoying and receiving, and to practice that because I was so out of that for so long and it wasn't healthy. Like I needed more of a balance between the like independent entrepreneur, self-made, multi-million-dollar company, all these, like that's so great, but it's also like nice to rest and enjoy. And so dating gave me that gift, and I had so much fun just like being spoiled and getting presents and the bill getting picked up for me. And it was so good for me and gave me so much joy. I had so much fun, and I still do. Like dating my man, like it is so good and so fun and relaxing, and it's good energy. I feel like I get to play. And with dating, like I got to play. I would play while I got ready and play like girly music and be blasting like Lizzo and Nicki Minaj and picking out my outfit and doing myself tanning cream and playing with different makeup and hair looks. Like I didn't get to do any of that in my 20s. I was having babies and trying to make ends meet and working on a marriage, and all of these good things came out of that. But this is different. This is a different era. This is me and my lover era. And it has been so good. It's been so fun. And so, like, going back to what I was initially saying, each man gave me a gift. They gave me a lesson about myself. I learned things about my energy. I learned things about my personality. I learned things, oh my gosh, like the awakening I had as a human, as a woman, not just like sexual, but romantically. And like my soul came alive. I figured out so much. This was a time where I wasn't looking for anybody. I didn't need anything from anybody. I was just playing and enjoying, and I was falling in love with me this entire time. This was like a year and a half where I was fully learning to love myself as I dated people. It was incredible. It's a time that I will never forget. And I have a list in my phone of each man's name and the lesson I learned or what came from it. And some things were not pleasant. Like I had some really bad dates. There was one guy that literally sat at the table with me and talked the entire time about how he has a bidet.
Is that a first date conversation?
And how good it feels to use the bidet.
Oh, boy.
And how he told me, like, I like how sometimes, like, I'll be going to the bathroom and I think I'm done. And then I use the bidet, but then I realize I'm not done. So I keep going. So I always know I'm fully cleaned out. That's what he said to me.
Can there be something private? Like, can there just be anything?
Brian, if you said that to me right now, I'd be like,
I wouldn't
what?
say that to you.
Yeah,
even
like,
after this long, I
fuck?
wouldn't say that. I was like, hey, the bidet is great. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, you would probably come out and be like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say, I love the new bidet.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing else.
This man is on a first date with me and he is slurping soup. First of all, he ate his appetizer before I got my food, which is like, sir, the queen hasn't received her appetizer yet. You don't take a bite, but it's fine. And then he's just slurping his soup and talking about it. So like I had like funny, shitty, bad experiences. I definitely experienced sexism, misogyny. Men seem to be entitled to women's bodies. So I experienced pushback like, oh, I'm going to take you here and you're not going to like even come to my place. Like, wow, what a waste of my fucking. Don't worry, I'll just go and like call up someone else. Like I've literally had someone say that to me. Like there's been really negative things, but for the most part, my experience in my dating world was positive. And I feel like I attracted men who were good. They were good-hearted people. They were very interested in really like getting to know me for real. They respected my boundaries. They respected me and what I've accomplished in my life. They held space for me. I felt heard and seen and adored. And that was really good for me. So I guess like let's get into some like tips. Okay, so I kind of want to start with something serious. If you're a single mom and you're going to start dating, don't say that you have children. I get that there can be problems that come from this, but there's one big protection that is such a huge pro that it defeats any cons about not being honest about this right out the gate. Especially if you're going to be someone who's using apps to date. If you say on the apps, I have kids, or how it asks, like it asks things like, have kids, don't want more, or have kids, want more, or whatever. It'll put like a little baby carriage icon if you have kids. Say that you don't have kids. Lie. And the biggest reason is predators look for you. They're looking to prey on single moms that have a lot going on, maybe are lonely, need validation. They're looking for weak women who have children. And that icon is the first thing they're going to be looking for. So I didn't do that right out the gate because I didn't know. But as I started to just kind of like learn and think and feel and navigate dating, I quickly took that off of my profile. I didn't do the apps very much. I don't really like it. It felt really like, it felt weird, and we'll talk about that next. I ended up doing a lot of like meeting men in person, which is just so much higher vibe. But when I was on the apps, I took off that icon. I did not say that I had children. What this did was it ensured that anybody that is interested in me or swiping on me is not a child predator looking to date me because of that. So while, of course, they could still be an unsafe human, they could have ill intentions. Technically, they could be, a child predator, but they're not coming to me for that because I am not a blaring light signaling down like me. I'm telling you I'm alone because I'm single and I have kids. I have your target. So that's my biggest piece of safety advice is just lie. Don't say that you have kids. On the first date with a man that you meet in person, deflect the conversation. Maybe don't say that you have kids. You can if you would like. I always did on a first date. But if you're really concerned about that, it's something to consider. But on the apps, I do not think you should say you have kids. There are even apps that are specifically for single parents to meet each other. Maybe that's a little bit different because the other person also has kids and they're just trying to find someone that like wants a big family and wants to vibe. But my personal opinion is don't put it because you are definitely not going to be attracting predators. And that's a thing, unfortunately. It's a thing that men look to date single moms because they want the mom and they also have ill intentions for the children. It's awful and unsafe. Being a woman is already unsafe enough. I just had like a memory flash. Being a woman is already hard enough. We don't need to bring our kids and worrying about that into it. And it's already a heavy enough burden, especially if you don't have support from your kid's dad and you're on your own, like you will get preyed on. And I had one man try to do this with me. His approach was not in like a child predator way, but just like a preying on single women way. Like he was like, "Oh, mama, you're working so hard. Like, let me take care of you. I could take care of all your needs. You won't need to work. You won't need to do that and take care of all your babies and get them nice things." And it was really gross and offensive. And it's, first of all, like I can take care of myself. I do all those things for myself. But what if I didn't? What if I couldn't? He's trying to prey on me and use his money and use whatever to, it's dangerous and it's scary. I don't want fear to be a deciding factor in you doing this or not doing this. Like I don't want you to stay home and bundled up like you're, I want you to be a woman. I want you to go enjoy. I want you to get all the good, fun things of dating. But be safe and be careful because it's real out there. Okay, so we've covered that. It's tough, but it's real. And I think that that's what women should do when they're, especially on the apps. Now, my favorite thing was, this is like what I would do. I would get super dressed up for myself. I would pick out an outfit that felt really good, that I felt really hot in. And I would like do like my everything shower. Like I'd like wash my hair, like or go get a blowout. I would like shave, exfoliate, do my self-tanner game, and put on like a super cute dress and some heels or really cute jeans and a bodysuit, like something that made me feel really sexy. And I would take myself out to dinner. I would do this on like, I don't know, really any night, but especially Thursdays and Friday nights. Those were like my nights to go out. And I would, because I moved to Arizona and I don't have a ton of friends here yet. So it would be easy for me to go out on my own. If I could meet up with someone, I would. But also a lot of my friends are guys. So that didn't really bode well for meeting people. And then I still wanted to date. I still wanted to like enjoy myself. So I would take myself out. And I would go and I would sit and I would just like either sit at like a nice swanky like bar. I wouldn't get like, sometimes I would get a table, but typically I would try to sit at the bar and I'd get like a glass of wine or something yummy and I would just sit. I wouldn't let myself be on my phone. I wouldn't like bring a book or anything. Like I would just sit and I would practice like my feminine energy. I would just be like smiling, looking around. I had a very like inviting body language. Like you guys are messaging me that like you don't want to do the apps and you don't want to like, you want to meet people in person, but like no one talks to you. Like, bitch, you've got like your sunglasses on. You look like you're miserable. Your arms are crossed. Like open, like relax your shoulders, open, like do like a heart chakra opening up meditation before you leave the house. Like, get like vibey, like do some like, I don't know, like shit. Put your headphones in because I'm going to say some stuff right now. Like, get in the vibe. Like, maybe you play with yourself a little bit. Maybe you do something sexy. Like, listen to some sexy music. Like, put on Chris Brown or some shit. Like, get in the vibe and go out and sit and get yourself a drink. Like, treat yourself the way you want a man to treat you. Pamper yourself. Like, be beautiful, be in your, like, you are a goddess. Show up in that energy. Put your shoulders back, open up, put your phone away. You got to sit her, girl. Like, sit and enjoy and smile. Smile, make eye contact, and then pull that right back and let him come get you. It's so fun. The amount of phone numbers that I got, the amount of dates I got, the amount of conversations I had, like, it was so fun. And in that space, not in the apps, not anywhere else, but in that space of what I just said, you will attract what you are. So when I was like, I am open, I am happy, I am grounded, I love myself, I am here to take care of me and to have a good time with me, I would attract the most incredible, smart, successful, fun guys and have the coolest conversations. I would get invited to events. I got invited to some really cool like Hollywood parties, events. Like I did some fun stuff, football games, like, oh, so much fun stuff just because I went out and I opened myself up and I attracted some really amazing humans. It was great. So that's one tip, like take yourself out, go out for you. And there was some times that I would do that and I wouldn't meet anyone or no one would come up to me. Like sometimes it's just not the vibe. Sometimes the universe knows like you need you. You need time for you. You need to just be you. But a lot of the time I would really just end up having an incredible conversation or feel like super flattered and like maybe I wouldn't even end up texting the guy. But it was just like fun to have that conversation. It's fun to flirt. It's fun to be in that energy, especially for me who like never really got to do that in that way. So that like meet people in person, go to like, and I hate the TikTok trend that's like, oh, like I want to meet someone, so I'm going to go to Home Depot and act clueless. That's stop. Go to like, go grocery shopping and just feel like your beautiful self and open up and smile and like make eye contact. Like, just be magnetic. If you're in your magnetic energy, you're going to be a magnet for what you are. So keep your energy clear, protect yourself. Like I said, do some kind of like heart opening meditation, something, listen to some Lizzo or something before, like get into a vibe that feels really good because when you go out, you are a magnet for what you are. And that is what I'm trying to say. Like dating keeps you in check and it makes you learn about yourself because why am I attracting this person talking about a freaking bidet? Like, no, energy check, no to that. And yes to this like handsome friggin' football player. Like shift. You shift yourself, you shift what you attract. And that's what I want you guys to understand. What else, Brian? Like I've talked to you about like all my dates. What else?
No, I'm trying to think.
The bidet guy just really takes the cake in terms of bad dates. I think another big thing that I felt in the very beginning, for sure, but I quickly ditched this. And this is like one of the things that the first few men that I dated after my divorce taught me. But I see this in my DMs and I saw it in myself in the beginning and like, it's such a hard no. There's this kind of idea that you are used or you have baggage. Like who's going to want me? Who's going to want me? I have 3 kids. I'm divorced. Like someone's 26-year-old child will want you. Trust me. Like these young men love that you're a mom, that you know what you want, that you're passionate about something, that you are a nurturing person because you have kids, that you are kind and grounded and focused and you're not like the other like sporadic young girls that don't know who they are yet. Like, trust me, you'll be great. You're going to be fine. But only if you know your worth and you own it and like you do all like embody the version of yourself that you really want to be and show up as her. Men are just like moths to a flame when you are in your power and you know who you are. The fact that guys, I have 4 kids. Okay? Like I've had all C-sections. I have like my tummy sags, all the things. Okay? And I have never, ever, not one time had a man say like, oh, wow, 4, oh, shit, I'm not really trying to, no, never, nothing. My experience with that has been only positive. My body is beautiful, and I learned that by being told that. And it's sad that that's what it took for me, but dating really increased my confidence. Just the idea of like that you have kids and you come from something, you've been through some stuff, you've been married, you've been in a relationship, you have a baby daddy, whatever, like does not equal baggage or, oh, wow, there's a lot that comes, like, no. And if a man were to ever speak to me that way, not only is he instantly getting blocked and never ever spending time or taking any of my energy again, but he's going to get an earful of some shit for sure. And I'll definitely use him in the podcast and say his name and all of it. So luckily that never happened. It's been only positive. But you are a goddess. You are worthy. The fact that you're a mother has nothing. That's more of a reason to date you because you're wiser, you're braver, you're a nurturer, you're connected. You are incredible. So I get a lot of DMs with women just like, man, I just feel like oh my gosh, like I have kids. Like I also have 4 kids or I have 3 kids and I just have this, my ex is like, it's not a good situation. Like you are not baggage. You are the catch. You're the prize. You're it. And if they don't see you that way, he's not only is he not it, so what are you even doing? But he's not even worth your energy. He doesn't get to come into your temple. He doesn't get to spend time or energy with you. He doesn't get to exchange anything with you. Block, thank, release, move on. There's someone better. The way that the man that I have decided to actually date and be with, he never looked at me, talked to me, treated me like I was anything other than an absolute unearthly goddess that he worshiped. And I have 4 kids and a Brian. And he loves them all. He's become a part of the family. Like he not only understands the situation, but thinks it's amazing. He adores me. You will be adored or they will get out of the way. There's a line. Next. That's the vibe. And when that's the energy, that's what you get. And that's what you're worth getting. So if there's anything in you that thinks this is baggage or this equals this or this means, oh, I wish I had started doing this when I was younger or before. No. This is your time. It's perfect. You're perfect. And everything that you come with is perfect. And if someone doesn't see it that way, thank you, next. Okay, like I said, I feel like this is like a 2 or 3-parter. I also, like, as I'm talking, I feel like maybe we should do something where like my man comes on and just like anonymously shares some tips because I know for sure he saw other women that had kids because he was single for so long before he met me. Like there's a lot here. And I just want you guys to know, like, I see you. I love you. You are so beautiful and so worthy and so perfect. Go have fun. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy. And if anybody makes you feel or tries to make you feel like you are anything less than a glowing goddess, they are not even worth sharing pasta with. Move on.